And just like that, we are back. Hey guys, welcome to my channel, Watch Your Mouth Reviews. This is your boy James. I am here to give my honest review while trying to watch my mouth. I think it can happen in this video. This is an updates video. But before I do so, let me introduce my special guest, my co-host, Mrs. Besh. I'll say what's up to her.
Hello.
Yes, we are here. We're doing a little updates video. We got a couple of different topics to talk about, as far as what's going on in Bravo Land and other shows we recap, like Basketball Wives. We got a little update there. So be sure, to catch us on Mrs. Best's channel. Basketball Wives, I think, premieres next week, if I'm not mistaken, next Tuesday, next Monday or Tuesday, I believe. So we are going to be here for that. So without further ado, let's go ahead and get started. And speaking of Basketball Wives, some news that shocked the hell out of me that I didn't even see coming was this. So, Evelyn Lozada's daughter, Shanice, is expecting first child with rapper The Game. Allegedly, this comes from Tea in the Shade on Facebook. Now, I was like, The Game? Okay.
I thought that was a rumor.
I thought it was too, but the lady
And
is saying this is what they're saying out in the street show. I don't know if it's true or not. That's why I say allegedly, because I don't know. But I saw like The Game of all people. And I'm hoping it's a rumor, y'all. I'm hoping it's a rumor. I hope that is not true. Because and not to no disrespect to The Game, but I've watched Evelyn's reality TV show. She was dating a soccer player at one point. I think she was dating a model at another point. I just know that she usually has good picks. I don't see her with The Game based on this lady's personality. But then when I thought about that, I was texting with one of my friends and they sent me season 2 of Basketball Wives, and we saw her with her boyfriend was like that. And I said, oh, makes sense. Never mind. And granted, we know who her mama is. So you only can do what you know. So it wouldn't surprise me either way. But Evelyn Lozada is expected to be a grandmother. Do y'all think she's going to go ahead and put this on Basketball Wives?
probably. I don't really care. No shade to her daughter. She's always bored me.
Shanice's always, I kind of never really noticed her as well.
I don't like her. I don't dislike her. I just be bored.
The only time I really got entertainment is when Jackie called her that Build-A-Horror situation and Evelyn lost her mind.
She's been rumored to be with quite a few people. If you single and living your best life, fine. But I always look at people with side eyes and red flags. When you pop out pregnant, but nobody knows who you're dating. Nobody, there's no
post. It seemed like she was pregnant out of nowhere.
And she's not famous enough to keep a boyfriend secret. So, I
feel like she stays out the limelight enough. I do hear certain things. Like I do hear, business venture wise, I do hear that she signed on with this modeling agency, that modeling agency. I do hear that from time to time, but I never really hear. The only time I really known her to date someone was when she was on Evelyn's show on network, where she was dating a soccer player. I remember that. But I was like, but with The Game of all people, and this is alleged, y'all. This is a rumor. We don't know if he really is the baby daddy or not. I guess only time will tell. But I don't know how I feel about that. I don't know, like hearing the story and watching this little girl become grown right before our eyes when Evelyn was on Basketball Wives. But without further ado, congratulations to Shanice Hairston. Congratulations to Evelyn on being a grandmama. I happy for her. I know babies bring great joy, but
bring back, at the very least, having kids when we're in committed relationships, that not even marriage, because we have to talk about all of that before saying congratulations. And that says a lot.
I don't know if The Game really is the baby daddy. All I know is that
regardless, somebody who's never been seen.
And maybe she's doing that for her own protection. Maybe she don't want him to be in whoever he is. Maybe she doesn't want him to be in the spotlight. I also think it's weird when
bullshit. It'll come out eventually. If you having a child with the person, it's going to come out.
I just hope it's not one of those Malika Hogg situations from, Khloe Kardashian's. I hope it's not one of those situations where you got a baby by, who's it, OT Genesis?
Yeah.
and he out here wilding, and you just up here just having a need you another baby and stuff. And it's like, I hope it's not one of them situations. Like, I can't stand to see a beautiful woman get trapped in these situations. Like, we can all hope
Not a
to.
trap. She's 30 plus years old. She
Oh no, she's
literally,
our age, I know, but I'm just
yeah,
saying.
she's old enough to make her own decisions and she's cognizant enough to make her choices. The girl's always been intelligent. I can't say that from what we've seen. She seems to have much more sense than her mother, but yeah. Yeah.
But yeah, no, I totally agree with that. But yeah, but ladies, I just want y'all to know, like, I get wanting children, but make sure the situations are children. It takes two people to make them, and even if you're not going to be together, at least have some rapport with each other to where we see who the baby's mother and then father will be. That's all I'm saying. Because there's no way
It's
I'm
gonna be
announcing.
Evelyn's storyline. Because what
We
else?
know we know it is. We know that it is, and I don't know. For me, I'm just like, what else can we do? Like, what else could we? How is this going to fit in Basketball Wives? Like, what do you think is going to be our story? Sorry about that, y'all. But yes, um, moving forward from there, um, but the next thing we're going to talk about. Did you have anything you want to add, Mrs. Best?
No, I don't really
Okay,
care.
so so moving on from there, we're gonna talk about Real Housewives of Dubai. If y'all have not catched our recap, me and Mrs. Best just got done with it. Watch this first and then go back and watch it because maybe your mind will be a little bit different when it comes to what we're going to talk about. But Mrs. Best has sent me this today. And oh, am I missing part of this? I feel like in your message it was longer. Hold on, let me go to your message. I feel like your message was longer.
It was. It
Yeah,
was
it was way longer. I'm missing a whole part of this. Damn, this damn blocking. Okay, let me read it from my phone, y'all. Sorry. I thought for sure this was long. So Caroline Brooks. So if y'all don't know, Talene was on Watch What Happens Live, and she had put out there that Caroline Brooks is out here thotting and bopping and sleeping with all kind of men, for money and stuff like that. She had put that out there. And Caroline Brooks had a little response to that. She said, in her words, this is on Twitter, actually, I'm not sleeping with anyone at the moment, nor do I sleep with a lot of men ever. But can we talk about who Talene and her husband are sleeping with? Let's not go there. You have kids and I like them, so tread lightly. Hashtag Real Housewives of Dubai. Trish Brooks, my sister, no. And I don't know who Trish is, but Caroline Brooks said, "Don't say no. I'll be damned if someone who brings women into her bedroom to please her husband would say that I sleep with a lot of men." At Talene K. Hyonen, you want to go there with me? We can. I said, "Ooh, ooh, we okay." So we accusing husband bringing women into the bedroom. We are accusing a black woman, of sleeping with a whole bunch of men. Um, based
I
on
mean,
how these
birds of a feather. They both accusing each other of the same thing.
I
So
was
I'm
gonna say,
going with
yeah,
that.
like I can actually see it on both sides. I can see it on both sides. I really can. Well, here's the thing. I'm gonna say it like this. I'm gonna say allegedly. I don't think Caroline Stansberry or Caroline. I don't think Caroline Brooks does this currently. I think she may have did it before. I think she had her pick of the litter, and I think Talene is bringing up old shit. I do. Now with the whole Talene thing, her inviting women to bed, I could easily see that as well because in the country that they live in and in the you know Muslim religion, sometimes Muslim men can be married to more than one woman, and the practice can be very much a present when it comes to sex as well. That's not that hard to believe either. So I don't know, I think they're both telling on each other and spraying their own tea and everything like that. And I think that this is what Bravo does, like they ruin friendships over this little bit of fame that they're getting on this little bit of show. So I think it's unfortunate, especially because these ladies did have a friendship of 10 plus years. So it is unfortunate. I want to know what happened on the fallout. I mean, I think we already know kind of what happened here, But it's just crazy that these two are really going at it. And Talene did start it, y'all. Now she did start this one. I know they fell out recently, but she didn't have to say that on Watch What Happens Live. So we'll see how this plays out. I can't wait for this reunion because this is gonna be one hell of a reunion. That's for damn sure. So, Mrs. Best, how do you feel about these two?
They were each other's like first friends in Dubai. So it's sad, but birds of a feather. I think they both into some freaky stuff personally. I wouldn't be surprised if they met through that. So, it is what it is. Hopefully they work it out, but I don't like that. I'm the type of person that will say no to a show or walk away from something once it impacts someone who I love in a negative way. But, not everybody's that way. I think sometimes when people get money and have a survivor's mentality, which I think they both have, they tend to let it get to their head and just be focused on getting the check, not caring who comes in and out of their life. You should value people but more, Talene, because who told you to go on that show and talk about her like that? Nobody told you to come and watch What Happens Live and say those things. So, she got what she got, but I still think Brooks was just drunk or something and went off. She's just draining to me. So hopefully they work it out.
I hope they do too, because I would hate to see a 10-year friendship just get thrown by the waist over some fame. Fame is never worth it, y'all. Fame is never worth it to have the type of friends that these two women described to us when they first got on the television show. Fame should never really get in the way of that. So I'm hoping they work it out. I'm hoping that they call each other and mend fences because that's really wrong. But Talene did start this show. I'm not taking in Brooks's favor because I don't like Brooks at the end of the day. But I have to call a spade a spade. Talene was wrong. She shouldn't have said that. So let's move on to another Real Housewives of Atlanta veteran on here. And I really wasn't going to talk about this at first, but because I did live in Miami and did go to Bar One at one point, I wanted to kind of talk about Mr. Peter Thomas here. So let's listen to what Mr. Peter says on his thing here. Hold on, let me make sure I got sound. Where the hell's the sound? Yeah, I'm not old, I promise. You don't have sound? Shade room, what y'all doing, or is it just me?
Bottom right corner, there's a speaker with a line going through it. You have to click that.
Click. I don't see it.
Of the video where it says IRS to the right of the S and IRS.
Oh, okay. Look at me. Thank you, Mrs. Beth.
You're welcome.
My dad just passed, and my kids,
How did we
my
start it up?
friends, immediate family members,
I know how to
and
do that.
anybody out there that checked for me. I did some wrong that I have to make right. I have to stand up. I have to be accountable. I have to be responsible, and I have to pay my debt. For 2.5 years ago, the IRS started a case that went back 10 years and showed that from one struggling business to the next and the next, that I'd failed to pay my withholding taxes on time. And at some point when the business wasn't doing well, failed to pay at all. And it's something that I thought I could work out, catch up with, make hold. But the hole got deeper for me. So I deeply regret, and I'm saying this with all sincerity, I deeply regret not to make the IRS withholding tax a priority in my life. With no excuses, because there is none. It's the law. I'm finding out a lot about that law lately, and what I need to say to all business owner out there: if you're starting out a business, make sure that you're funded enough to cover your payroll after you pay your rent and you pay your utilities and you pay your vendors. Make sure that you could cover those withholding taxes, and make sure On the 20th of every month, you pay those revenue taxes because when those things add up, Uncle Sam is your partner, and they're not getting their piece, and keep on adding it up. It's gonna come and it's gonna bite you like it's biting me now. Okay, so I deeply regret, okay, not paying my withholding taxes in a timely manner or in any manner that would put me in the place where I am now. And but I'm going to be accountable. I'm going to be responsible, and I'm going to pay my debt. Okay, because that's the agreement, and that's the way it is. Okay. Um, Thank you for the time. I'll be talking about this some more, probably. Okay, but I'm quite sure when it comes out, because y'all like to put me in the shade room and all those other places, I'm quite sure it's going to be all over the place because I am Peter Anthony Thomas. Okay. Again, I apologize to the United States government who gave me such a wonderful opportunity to express myself and build these businesses. And I let them down, I let myself down, I let my family down, and I'm going to make amends. Okay. Thank you.
Smurf. Why was that so long? Just old. When you get to a certain age, just follow the law. And the audacity. This is why the younger generation is less respectful of the elders, okay? Because you're not gonna come on here and advise us to pay our bills when you the one in trouble for not paying yours.
I mean, you got years and years and years on this earth, and you talk about the responsibility of paying the IRS, paying your bills, paying your. We know this. I don't understand what the older generation thinks that we are. We pay taxes as well.
Let
I
me
don't play
tell
with the
you,
IRS. I give them what they need and get out my
that's
face.
the one people that you don't play with.
Yes, you don't play with them.
I'll play with the federal government before I play with the IRS now. Okay. They'll take everything. Shit
Put a
that you didn't even
lien
know
on your
could be
stuff.
taken.
That's almost as bad than putting a boot on your tire. Like I'm telling you, I'm
Listen,
not. No, I'm not playing with them. And the
what was
fact,
that, Peter Anthony? So why do we need your middle name? That's
and it's
all.
like, and I'm not trying to make it like, cause he is looking at serving some prison time for this, y'all. I'm not trying to allegedly. He is
Okay.
looking at that, but I'm just like, sir, you have been doing this since Real Housewives of Atlanta when you was on that show and Cynthia having to go broke over you and
Yep.
just
The
like we
wedding.
have constantly seen this. Like Cynthia had to drive the same Land Rover her 2003 and it's like, you know, so don't act like this is new. This is the 10 years is all they could go back. That's all the IRS can do, y'all. When they audit you, they only can go back the last 10 years. So yes, I can imagine what's this year, 2014. I can imagine what they would have found if they were able to go back 20 years. I can only imagine.
I
So
understand though, because and I'm not getting political, but there's immigrants in my family. It's so hard to get into this country, whether you come illegally or illegally, is
mhm,
hard to get into this fucking country. So for
mhm.
people to finally get here, then you get here and you're blessed to be able to have wealth and to be able to open businesses and things of that nature. And then you decide not to pay your taxes. And it's like anything else, whatever. You don't got to be a perfect human, but like I think it's stupid when they kick people out the country because they get a traffic ticket or something that's weak. But separate from that, dude, the one thing you do is pay your taxes. You have the ability, especially being in California, there are a lot of people who do not have citizenship here. And I'm like, you're blessed enough to be able to work, and get a W-2 and to have those things. And there's so many people who are working their asses off and would love to have that. And then here you are and you piss it off. And the thing that makes it even more messed up is you had the money to pay them. So why wouldn't you do that? If I was rich, I don't care what I do, I'm always paying for the taxes.
And then here's the other thing. Because Florida taxes are not that high. Everything else in Florida is high. But when you're talking about being a business owner, and first of all, owning a business in Florida is probably one of the best states to own a business in because there is no state tax that you have to pay. It is only federal that you have to pay. And just imagine the write-offs you can write off your gas every day. If you volunteer, if you did a charity event and volunteered your time and did the write-offs from there. There's so many things you can write off there. Like, I just don't understand how he could live in that state and be in this much of trouble where you ain't paying. Like, I just don't understand. And Bar One makes money. It really does. Like, I know they've been threatened to close down a few times allegedly. That's what they were reporting back when I lived in Florida. But Bar One makes money, y'all. Bar One is not a cheap place to eat or have drinks. It's not the most expensive place I've been in Miami, but it is up there. So, and it's in a prime location. It's right off the interstate. So it's like you can see it when you get off of it. So it's like you doing this on your own. These practices they were talking about on Real Housewives of Atlanta is coming here. And you talk about how I know the shade room is gonna pick it up. It's because you keep doing this. You keep doing this. So I don't understand him. I don't understand how you can have the platforms that you have. You've been on Real Housewives of Atlanta. You've been on Real Housewives of Potomac. I don't understand how you're not revenuing yourself in a bigger way. I just don't understand. I'll never understand it. So yeah, y'all, I don't feel sorry for Peter. I don't. Him coming over here doing, this damage control that he's doing, we already know what you about. So it's like, come on. This is ridiculous at this point. So I'm reporting on it because Real Housewives of Atlanta is a show that I do recap on my channel, and Cynthia will be on the next season. So that's the only reason why I'm
Peter
reporting.
Thomas was legendary too on that show. There's a
He
couple like
was.
every Housewives franchise. There's a husband that just shines, and unfortunately, Peter was one of them.
Yeah, he definitely got a lot of attention. People were calling him all kinds of names. Patricia. They said they needed his own peach.
Papa
I remember
Smurf.
someone. Yeah, Papa Smurf. He was really cool. Like he got the drama started on that show. Like a lot of
He
the
did.
drama that they had on those seasons was because of Peter. That's why I feel
Yep.
this is more unfortunate of why he's in this situation because I feel like he had for it to be a woman dominated kind of show because the whole cast was women for you to be a man and have the shine that you did, it was very unfortunate that this is how this turned out. When you could be still making money. Like the one thing about the Real Housewives of New Jersey men, they all make money from this show,
Yeah.
regardless if they're on salary or not. They
Yeah.
capitalize on being on the Real Housewives of New
They
Jersey.
write books. They
Yes.
come out with shirts with sayings on them. They
Mhm.
do anything they can to
Open up
capitalize off of it.
stores, open up like Airbnbs. Like the men on Real Housewives of New Jersey know how to capitalize on this moment.
Yeah.
And I thought Peter did too. I really did. And that's why I'm upset because I feel like, dude, you really could have been capitalizing on this. Like, I know you made appearances. I know you had bookings. Like, come on, like this is crazy. But you couldn't pay your taxes? Like crazy. Just crazy.
Always pay your taxes, y'all.
Yes, absolutely. All the time. Pay your taxes. Make sure, especially when in Florida, you only got to worry about federal taxes at the end of the day because he lives in Florida. He lives in Miami. So in Florida, you only have to worry about it's only the other businesses where he has to pay that. But we're talking about you in the state that you live in. You like, come on, it cannot be that hard. But yeah, but that was Peter. It's crazy, we pray for Peter. We hope he gets out of this, learning his lesson and learning how to get rid of these, shade tree mechanic ways that he has allegedly, because I can't prove it. But, on the show they've said it. So it is what it is. But I just can't believe, I can't believe it. But at the end of the day, if I had those opportunities, y'all, the sky would be the limit because that's all I need is a platform. I have the books. I have everything. I just need the platform and the money to get me started. That's all I need. And so, hey, it is what it is. But anything else you want to say, Mrs. Best, before we move on to our next subject?
No.
Good luck, Peter. We hope everything works out. If anything else comes up for this story, I hope I'll be glad to report on it. So, y'all, the last thing and the final thing I want to talk about, which is our star of this whole updates video, is our girl Kenya Moore, y'all. Kenya Moore. So if you guys do not remember, me and Mrs. Best did go live, and we did talk about Kenya Moore and whether or not she should be fired for what she did, because at that time she was only suspended. Now, Mrs. Best said if she did do what they're alleging that she did, then yes, she should definitely be fired. And for me, I said she shouldn't be, because directly I have seen housewives do worse and still have a job. So I just feel like for me, I know we have to get in the era of, you know, that it was a revenge piece situation and that it shouldn't have been done. But as I said, they keep the white women. So when it comes to the black one, they shouldn't keep it. But ET reports that Kenya Moore leaving Housewives of Atlanta following suspension. So this was as of today, but we're also hearing reports that Kenya was indeed fired. So TMZ reported Kenya is not returning to RHOA this season. She decided it was best for herself to leave after how she felt the incident was handled and how she was treated. A source shared with ET the news that Moore's exit was first reported by TMZ. So, according to Love B. Scott, Kenya was indeed fired from Real Housewives of Atlanta, and that there are talks to bring Sheree back, and there's in talks of potentially Phaedra coming back. Now we know Phaedra is filming the current season of Married to Medicine, so I don't know how that will work with Phaedra. I don't know if production has stalled. From what my understanding is, they have not stalled filming; that they are still filming with Portia and the rest of the cast. And with Sheree coming back to the show, y'all, I already told y'all how I feel about Sheree. I don't like Sheree. I feel like Sheree be perpetrating. It is not conducive to what that show is. I feel like she does not have a storyline, never has a storyline. We see fake business after fake business. We can see fake relationship after fake relationship. Sheree, I feel like that's the wrong move, Bravo. Bravo in that call center, hear me. The Sheree is not the move. I am sure there is somebody else in Atlanta that can fill Kenya's shoes. I am more than positive that there is. So I guess, we have to believe the word on the curb is that Kenya has been fired allegedly, because she has yet to make a statement. Bravo has not made a statement yet. So we have to say allegedly. Mrs. Best, how do you feel about Kenya being allegedly fired?
I mean, I pretty much feel the same. If she did it, she needs to go. If she didn't do it, let her stay. But I don't think she would be considering legal action if she was just suspended. So I do believe what's alleged may eventually come out. But I don't know. I want all of, like, most of the Housewives franchises to get rid of anybody who was on the show longer than 5 years. Just get rid of them all and hire new people. Try to hire people who don't know each other. They can know of each other, but try to hire people who don't know each other or have connections and stuff. Like, they just need a reboot. Housewives of Atlanta has been in this weird loop for about like 7 years now. It's time. Refresh the cast. Now that Candy's gone, please use it as the opportunity to just get new people who are not desperate. Like, let's get some old money, like how all the Beverly Hills ladies old as hell to some extent. I'm just keeping it real. Get some old money, then you'll have less turnover, because it is kind of a fact that, the older the cast gets, the calmer it's going to be. You're not seeing too many 70-year-olds thinking of, revenge porn or whatever, happened with that. So, and even 70, they could be 45 plus, but I just feel like everyone they get on this show has been like really thirsty for fame and the check to some extent, and it's causing problems, Kenya included. So I want a whole new cast. I'm over all of them. I don't want Portia. I'm not excited about her being back. I didn't quite understand or feel like Kenya fit in with how they changed the cast. I don't really care for Drew. The new people I don't know or care for. So just change the cast.
I agree, change the cast. I don't know if I want them to have money anymore or be rich people anymore or people who are substantially wealthy. I almost want Bravo to take a chance and do like average, like middle class housewives. Like, I almost want that to happen, just because I feel like that would be more authentic, because there's
Yeah.
no perpetrating. If Susie's Volvo is overheating, we gonna see it, and we gonna see her put the coolant in it. If if Beverly can't cook, we gonna see her making some hamburger helper and some mixed vegetables. Like I want to see that versus women throwing events because this one's starting a I mean, that's all aspiring too. If they're starting something from the ground up, fine. But I want to see middle class people, people who don't have money. I need to see how that looks because I feel like a lot of the times, especially, I'll give you an example when Salt Lake City first started and how you had some that were regular first season, and then you had the ones that were more, wealthy and elitist, like Mary and Lisa. And then you had the ones that didn't really have it, like Heather and Whitney. So it was kind of one of those situations where I kind of felt like you can mix and match, that's fine. But I would rather see middle class because when Monica came to Real Housewives of Salt Lake City, it was a hit because she was regular folk like the rest of us, where she just starting her business. She just getting out of her marriage. She has 4 kids. She cramped up in a little bitty old home. She had a Range Rover that had 100,000 miles on it. It was just like, we got to see that's regular life. That's regular people like us.
Yeah, they need
Like
to mixing people of different socioeconomic status is gold for television. That's why you look at networks like MTV that have shows like The Real World that went for 25 plus years and then keep coming back and reboots and redone. And, that's because you're putting a bunch of different people into a space and then seeing what happens. And sometimes controversial stuff will happen, yes, but when it's not happening, you're still entertained by seeing the differences amongst people and how they can like overcome that. So Bravo definitely lost that, but I feel like Bravo is right now is a little too focused on social media as a whole. I don't think anything's gonna improve until they like get back to whatever the hell they did before social media existed to give us good shows.
I agree. I agree with that completely. Just because in terms and directly what we're seeing is the same old storylines, the same old situations, the same old beefs, the same old, we're tired of it. We're tired of everything being the same. Where is the difference? Where is the freshness? So I think with Real Housewives of Atlanta, I'm gonna be honest with y'all. Everybody may not agree with me. I think they should scrap it altogether. Whatever Portia and Kenya filmed and up until this, I think y'all should just scrap it. Put it in the vault until y'all can figure it out, and then just recast a whole new cast. Y'all have Real Housewives of Potomac. Y'all have Real Housewives of Salt Lake City. Y'all
Yeah.
have Married to Medicine coming back. Just scrap it and do like a 6 episode pilot, all new women, and get women in.
I don't even I feel like they need to do like what they did with Miami. They scrapped it and then when they brought them back, they did like a kind of a soft opening on Peacock.
Yeah,
And they're just now they getting back. It's only been a few little seasons that they're back on actual syndicated television. So Bravo should definitely do that. What they did with Miami to RHOA. It's I feel like the reason they won't though is kind of like what they did with Housewives of New York. Like Housewives of Atlanta and New York are really what made the Housewives popular. Sorry,
Mhm.
fans. Sorry. But oh my god, my cat's meowing. Anywho, but I definitely feel like they need to, if you're gonna keep it on TV, do like you did with Roni and do a reboot, with a whole different cast, all fresh faces. Because what the hell are they gonna do? Portia's in court literally just to film. Can't talk about her cases because Simon's after her. Shamia's with a Nigerian man, so they're not going to show or talk about much. I can promise you that. And then you have Kenya, who's gone, and then I want to know what Brittany Edie did to make Kenya feel the need to go to that extremity.
I do too. I do too. And that's what I'm saying. Like,
Also said that she doesn't think Kenya should be fired. Why not? If you're so offended, that's weird. If somebody puts a picture up of me doing something intimate, I'm not going to then say I don't think she should be fired. I'm going to be like, whatever happens, happens.
yeah, I'm like that too. But at the same time, we don't know if that's happened. I mean, obviously something happened for them to go to this extreme and fire her. Some allegedly, because they haven't confirmed her firing yet. Allegedly. Something had to have happened. Like, we're not disputing that. Something definitely had to have happened. But my thing is this: I felt like Bravo, if that did happen, Bravo would have been made a statement by now to do damage control. They have not yet. Kenya has not said anything either. She has disputed that it's happened. And that was it. So, and none of the other cast has spoken out about this. So to me, and it could be because of Bravo, it could be because of contract obligations, they're not allowed to speak on it. But I just, for me, I don't know. I don't know how I feel about this. And as I said, with Kenya being gone, I don't think I don't think the franchises should come back. I don't. I
The
feel like
franchise shouldn't have came back in the first place because it should not take one person to keep it going. It just shouldn't. Um, when they hired Marlo or had to think about that, that's when they should have let it go and changed some things. And that is not entirely a dig towards Marlo. I just always viewed Marlo as somebody who was the perfect friend of. I never thought that she had enough to be a housewife, and I felt like they hired her on and gave her a peach as a desperate move. And you know,
well, we know that they were desperate last season because they also had Sheree back.
yeah.
Sheree hasn't had a good season in years. Like, I would give Sheree her first.
Since who gonna check me, boo?
Yeah, Sheree hasn't had a good season in years. She's been run up, dried up. It has never been nothing with her.
Her
Everything has just
career on Housewives, in my opinion, was arguing with Nene for the
yes,
early on. Like even the moments of relevancy she had was arguing with Nene. The only one relevant moment she had by herself was arguing with that fashion guy. Who gonna check me, boo? Because she forgot she was on TV. That is the only thing to me that she's done by herself that people would consider iconic.
right. And the thing about and then the She by Sheree shit failed. It was like because that man put her that man and it's because of the fashion designer that went to the blogs and told on her. That's all. So it was like, okay, so this wasn't even real to begin with. You just threw some shit together and then held us all hostage to it. And that's what we're saying. She's Sheree's lady. So if Bravo is really trying to bring Sheree back to save the franchise, Bravo, this is not going to work. Y'all need to scrap it up, get y'all some new women, let
Listen,
it.
Sheree went to the OWN network and people didn't really care for her. Okay. And OWN fans have no shade, kind of a lower bar. So I'm just listen. I'm just saying, if they didn't accept Sheree, I don't think nobody will. She might have to try like BET or something.
I don't. I think she should stop doing reality TV just in general,
How
and
she make
just
money?
pick up a trade. Hell, go back to school, do something. Hell, like I don't know.
Trade.
Pick up a trade, like do something, like actually study your fashion show, open up a store, do something, or continue to date rich men. I don't know. I don't know. I don't
Continue
know.
to date Richmond. They don't want her. They don't want her.
Somebody wants somebody at the end of the day. I feel like she would have more success, just not because the only time I really enjoyed Sheree was season 8 when she came back as a friend of. That's the only time I enjoyed her.
Yeah.
Outside of that, I did not enjoy Sheree. So if they're alleging that she's coming back, I'm just like, why do y'all keep making this?
Make
move?
her a friend of if she comes back. I don't think Sheree will ever give enough to be a full-time housewife again.
No, she won't.
But I do feel like she's can give slight delusional messiness on like cast trips and stuff here and there, but we don't need to see her every episode or have
I
her.
don't. Yeah, I don't need to see her at all. Really, I can do without Sheree. But if y'all gonna bring her back, bring her at minimum capacity, please. I do not want to see her this much.
Yeah.
And as far as Phaedra coming back, I think Phaedra is fine on Married to Medicine.
She
I
fits in
think,
better there.
yeah, I think she's fine on that show. I don't think I want to move her just yet. I feel like that was, as I told y'all, for those of y'all who don't watch me, oh, we have a comment. Thank you for coming. Marlo didn't bring that show down. The show's been going down since Nene, and that's a fact. Candy sure didn't do nothing. She by Sheree had nothing. Kenya felt she needed to be the bottom of the barrel. Ooh. Well,
wait.
Esther Ferris, thank you for sharing that comment. I do agree slightly that Nene being gone did bring the show down a little bit. Because Nene knew the politics. I think that's where I will agree. Nene just got in her own way.
Yeah.
That's all I'm gonna say. Nene got in her own way, which thinking that she was bigger than the show.
Yeah.
And life will humble you. So I think she's starting to get humble now because she has a show on Lifetime coming out. So I think she's more humble. She by Sheree hadn't. I agree with that. Marlo didn't bring that show down. No, but she didn't improve it either. I think she was just kind of like, well, we'll give you this with hopes that you'll do something, and it didn't get done. Candy sure didn't do nothing. I guess for me, yes
I've
and no.
always felt like Candy was not the most entertaining. I know she's been on the show forever, but
I think Candy brings the endorsements. I think that that's why they kept her on for as long as they have, because she brings the endorsement. She brings, the extra activity that Bravo needs to stay afloat. I think Candy is a big responsible party on why the Real Housewives of Atlanta was able to get the sponsors that they get. I don't think it's as big as Beverly Hills, because I think Beverly Hills has the bigger sponsor. That's because they have the bigger names on there. But I feel like Candy for sure was probably one of the contributing factors of why Real Housewives of Atlanta was able to stand afloat. I do think that. I don't think that she did anything personally, but to stay afloat, I think she's definitely responsible for that. So, but yeah, but we'll see. We'll see what happens. Do y'all put it in the comments, y'all? Do y'all think Real Housewives of Atlanta should continue forward now that Kenya is gone? Or do you think they should scrap it and revamp it and try to do better next year with it?
they need to
It's already
scrap it, especially since Married to Medicine is doing so good finally after 10 seasons. Let Married to Medicine take the spotlight for some time, since they always premiere together anyway, and take the time to figure out Atlanta or to make the decision to get rid of it. I mean, do what you got to do, Bravo.
Well,
Make a
Bravo,
change.
if y'all want a show, come down to Phoenix. I can get y'all, a few ladies, and including myself, and I could be the first
Oh,
man that
Lord.
ever comes on a Bravo Housewives franchise. I can do it for you. Trust me. I know everybody, so I can definitely do it if y'all want it done. I almost wanted to call Shawnee and say, "Hey, you want me to revamp Baseball Wives for you?" Because I know them heifers down here too. I
They're
know
the
about.
ones with money.
Well, see, the Baseball Wives, I know two or three of them. So that's why I said they will come on TV. Um, so I feel like Sean, if you can work out a deal, Sean, give me a call. I can definitely work that out for you. Because they're bored here anyway. They don't like, because their husbands are in season. So they ain't, trust me, they ain't nothing to throw a little something together. But anyways, y'all, that's about it. We finna go ahead and end this live. Thank you guys for everyone who has joined us in. If you're new to my channel, welcome, like, comment, and subscribe. We do this a few times a week. I have shows on my channel. Please subscribe to Mrs. Best's channel. It's in my description box. She does the shows that I don't recap. So she has on her show Real Housewives of New Jersey. She'll have Basketball Wives. We'll have Love and Hip Hop on her channel. On my channel, we have Real Housewives of Dubai. I'll have Real Housewives of Salt Lake City, Real Housewives of Potomac, Married to Medicine. And I am going to pick up Braxton Family Values when it comes back in August. So I will be picking up that on my channel as well as Love and Marriage Detroit whenever that comes back. I did decide, even though I was against it because I dropped out 3 episodes in, I just couldn't do it no more. I'm going to follow through and do Love and Marriage Detroit, since I do Love and Marriage Huntsville. So if you guys are interested in those shows and want to hear our opinions, definitely subscribe, because we do give them and we don't spare anybody no expense, either whether we like them or not. So there you have it, y'all. Thank you once again for coming in. Mrs. Best, thank you for being here with me once again. I appreciate you. I won't be here this weekend, you guys, on Mrs. Best channel as well as my own. I'll be taking some time off, but I will be back on my channel on next Wednesday. So you guys make sure that you come in next Wednesday. Mrs. Best will be on her channel Monday to do Real Housewives of New Jersey. All right. All right. All right. So I will see you guys then. Thank you guys once again, and we'll see you guys later. Bye-bye.